Hello and welcome everybody to the adult softball managers meeting for the fall 2021 season. I am Ian Wallace. I'm the adult sports coordinator with City of Surprise Parks and Recreation Department. I will be the one that will be emailing you, calling you throughout the season um, to give you updates, scores, standings, also to contact you if somebody from your team gets ejected or gets in trouble. I'll be the one you will hear from in those occasions. My info is at the bottom of the manager's meeting agenda packet. Also, Jason Bond, recreation supervisor, is my immediate supervisor. His information is also available at the bottom of the packet if you feel like you need to get in contact with Jason at all during the season. So get right into it. Again, we'd like to welcome everybody to the fall 2021 adult softball season. I'd like to thank returning teams from the summer season and, of course, last spring season as well. I see a lot of familiar team names returning. A lot of you will be familiar with most of the rules and procedures that we do follow. But for those new teams and for those who need a refresher course, here is the managers meeting video for fall 2021. In Surprise Adult Sports, our philosophy is to have fun. We emphasize participation, fitness, social interaction, and most of all, sportsmanship. This basically means that when you're out there, please remember to have fun. Please remember that other people are out there to have fun. Nobody out there is going pro, so don't treat it like it's that type of league. We try not to take it so serious. Again, make sure we're having fun and make sure that you realize that others are out there to have fun as well. And maybe not everybody out there is going to always compete as hard as you do or as hard as the next person. But that's okay because it's not a competitive league. They're all recreational leagues. We are out there for recreation and for fun. League game format, we do follow sort of a round-robin type format. A couple seasons back, we added a 7th week. So you're now getting 7 weeks of regular season and then the single elimination tournament at the conclusion of the regular season. Just a reminder that all teams that participate in the league are eligible to participate in the end of season tournament, regardless of your final standings for the regular season. We have the rules listed the first page basically of the packet. Please make sure that you are going over these rules with everybody on your team. It's okay if you want to forward them a copy of this email that includes the rules and all the other important information, but as the team manager, it is your responsibility to ensure that everybody on your team knows the rules. So an example of this would be there's no alcohol allowed in the park, and the penalty for finding alcohol in the dugout is the offending player is ejected from the game, and the manager of the team is also ejected. We've run into situations before where the player goes, "Oh, I didn't know. I couldn't have beer in the park," and that's fine. Maybe they really didn't know, but it is up to the manager to explain those rules to the members of the team. So please make sure that you are doing that. So just touching on what I just said, reminder that there is no alcohol, smoking, or vaping allowed inside the park. If you are going to smoke or vape, you need to leave the immediate park area and walk down either of the 4 sidewalks until you are far enough away from everybody. Please don't go just on the other side of the fence and stand right by the dugout. It really defeats the entire purpose. and we will ask you to move further away than that. And then keep in mind that alcohol, smoking, vaping, they are all violations that if you don't cooperate, will get you removed from the park and then ultimately also from the league. So please make sure that you are adhering at any point to City of Surprise staff members' request or the umpire's request for you to follow the rules that are laid out in this rule book policy form that I'm sending you. Please know that the field supervisor and or the umpire has the power to eject a player or a spectator or forfeit a game at any time without prior warning for conduct deemed unbecoming or detrimental to the game. I get that a lot too. Well, yeah, I called the umpire an effing loser, but then he threw me out. Then he didn't warn me. You don't have to get a warning. They will, from time to time, depending on what the rule violation or indiscretion was, you will receive a warning. But please make sure that you are familiar with the league policies that do state that neither umpires or city staff are required to issue a warning for anything. You may be removed on the first offense for violating any of the rules or procedures policies of City Surprise Adult Sports. If you are ejected from the game at any time, do remember that you are required to leave the playing area and the park immediately. I do understand that people need a few minutes to gather their things and leave the dugout, but just know that any prolonged or refusal to leave will result in additional games suspended. Anybody that is ejected from a game will automatically be suspended one additional game, but that is with the understanding that you leave promptly after being ejected. If you do hang around, if you continue to cause problems, and you hold up the games, then there will be more severe, usually in the form of additional games, punishment handed out for that. Game time is forfeit time. Make sure that you have everybody there on time. If you know that you're going to forfeit a game, please, we ask that you give us a call or an email as soon as you can after you find out that you're not going to be there. And hopefully we can get a hold of the other team and let them know. Please remember that there is no infield practice in between games. This is for safety reasons. And we've had a couple close calls and a couple incidents where teams warming up, taking batting practice and things like that between the games have caused some injuries to spectators and others. So please know that there's no batting practice, nothing on the infield at all. You can, as a team, if you're waiting, if you get there for your first game or you're waiting for your next one, you want to go on the outfield and warm up. That's fine, but there's no hitting allowed in the outfield either. Just throwing and warming up out there in that manner. The scorebook shall be possessed by the offensive batting team. At the conclusion of each half inning, the scorebook shall be turned over to the opposing team. So essentially, you're going to get it. Whoever's up to bat, please make sure that whoever their designated score person is receiving the book in between each half inning. It is up to each individual team to verify that checking the scores and bringing any discrepancies up at that point to the umpire. There'll be no protests allowed after the first pitch of the next half inning begins. So please make sure that you are checking that. Also a reminder to please make sure that the manager or the representative is initialing the score sheet. The umpire will have a score sheet at the end of each game, and please make sure that you're initialing next to your final score. Makes it a lot easier. Most of the calls that I get as soon as I put the standings out are people telling me that they are incorrect. 99% of the cases when I go back and I look at the score that somebody told me was incorrect, either one or both managers did not sign or initial the box, which again, if one of them or both of them would have taken the time to do that at the end of the game, then the discrepancy wouldn't have been put out in the first place. So remember that you have to be 18 years of age, at least 18 years of age prior to participating. So if you have anybody on your team that's currently 17 or younger, and they will not turn 18 before the season starts, they will not be able to participate. 18 and up only. Please remember that a player may not appear on two rosters or play for two teams in the same division. Examples of this would be on Tuesday night, we'll have two divisions. A team would not be able to play for two different teams in the Rec 1 division. If a player wanted to play for one team in the Rec 1 division and then play for another team in the Rec 2 division, that would be okay. Also, if somebody wanted to play on Tuesday and they also want to play on Friday and Sunday, that's okay too. You just cannot play on two teams in the same division on the same night. Where the only night where you would not be able to play on two different teams if you wanted then would be on Thursday night, since we only have the one division of 6 teams. Every other offering this season, we do have two different divisions. So you are able to play on teams in the different divisions, but you cannot play on more than one team in the same division. Somebody brought up actually today before I made this, and it's a very good point, that ASA and USA softball have combined into one, and they will now basically be going by USA. Where this is important to us is in our certified bats. So just a update to the rule that we will allow bats that are stamped either ASA or USA or both ASA, USA, or only ASA or USA. Please note, if you're bleeding, please come out of the game. Anybody who's bleeding or has blood on their uniform shall be prohibited from further participation until the bleeding is completely stopped. Any kind of blood-soaked clothing must be changed. You can't come back out in a bloody shirt if that were to happen. One thing that always comes up is in co-ed, defensive positions. And remember that in co-ed, the outfield must consist of 2 males and 2 females. And the infield must consist of 2 males and 2 females. The catcher and pitcher must be opposite sex. So if you have a male pitcher, you have to have a female catcher, and vice versa. There must always be an equal number of men and women, or a majority of women in all combinations. And then the other thing that comes up a lot, I want to clarify, please let all your teams know, is that in co-ed, female infielders, they always have the choice. Female infielders on defense always have the option of playing in the dirt or in the grass to start the play. It does not matter if the batter is female or male. The female defender always has the option. Whether they're at first, if they're playing third or first, they're playing second, it does not matter. The female infielder always has the option to begin the play in the outfield or the infield, wherever they choose. A male defender, and again, all those things come into play. It does not matter if it's a male batter, a female batter. A male defender, infielder, always has to start the play with his feet in the dirt. A male infielder may not begin the play with his feet in the grass. Another thing that comes up a lot for co-ed specifically is the minimum number of players. And so again, I touched on that you always have to have either a majority, a split of male-female or a majority of female in order to begin. You can never have more males participating than females and begin a co-ed game. You have to have a minimum of 8 to begin and continue. So an example, if you began with 8 players, you would have 4 men and 4 women. If you have 9 players show up, you can have 5 women and 4 men. You are not allowed to have 5 men and 4 women. Same thing, 10, you can go 5 and 5, or you can go 6 and 4, women to men. But at no point are you allowed to have more men playing than women in co-ed. There is an exception. And a co-ed game can begin with 5 males and 3 females only if both managers agree. And in this specific scenario, no females are allowed in the outfield. Okay? So in this 5 male, 3 female player scenario, your pitcher would be male 1, your third baseman would be male 2, your shortstop would be male 3, your left center fielder would be male 4, your right center fielder would be male 5. Your females then, female 1 would play catcher, female 2 would play first base, and female 3 would play second base. This is only if the other manager agrees. And then if you start the game that way and more players arrive, you cannot add more males to your roster at that point. You do have to wait for at least 2 more females to arrive to bring you up to 5 and 5 before you are allowed to add any other males that may be late or showing up late for the game. Again, it is in here. You cannot switch to a 5 male, 4 female lineup if and when your 4th female arrives. Once your 4th female arrives, you must remove your extra male from the lineup and play 4 male and 4 female until if and when your 5th female player arrives. Home runs, we are to 2 up now on both men's leagues and the Friday Rec 2. But I'm sorry, 2 up for Friday, all men's leagues, and then Friday Rec 1. Everybody else will still be at 1 up. So 2 up for all the males, and Friday co-ed Rec 1, and then 1 up for all co-ed leagues except for that Friday league. No steel cleats are allowed. Tie games will count as a tie. If there's a tie in the final standings, we use head-to-head play to determine seeding, and then next is runs allowed, and then finally, if we're still tied at that point, runs scored. The umpire is the official timekeeper. Right now we go 7 innings or 55-minute time limit, whatever comes first. No inning can begin after 55 minutes, but I want to point this out too, that the next inning starts as soon as the last out in the previous inning is made. So if there's 6 minutes left in the game, then we will start a new inning. If there's 4 minutes left in the game, then we'll start a new inning. That next inning starts as soon as the last out from the previous inning is made. There are other rules that you can go over those are the ones that I think that are most talked about, most questioned, that come up the most. So I figured we would go over those specifically, but there are several other rules there that you should go over and discuss with your team. The only other thing left for rules-wise is the our COVID-19 protocols. Please go over these. The important facts here are that, of course, face masks are no longer required. We do strongly recommend that you wear face masks when it's difficult to social distance, such as entering or leaving the gates or the restroom. But again, it is strongly recommended, and there are no requirements for face coverings. Also, if somebody does choose to wear a face mask, that's okay. If you want to wear one while participating, that's fine. There's no rule against that. But there is no mandate for you to wear a mask at any time, although we do highly, strongly recommend that you do wear a mask in situations where it's difficult to socially distance from others, such as entering or leaving the restroom or entering or leaving the park. There is a new roster form. Please note that there is a signature line now on the roster forms. You'll see it here. Please make sure that every member of the team is either signing or initialing next to their name, as we are requiring that everybody initials or signs going forward. The same will be required of the add drop form. If you do add or drop players, here's where you'll put their name of the players that you are adding, have the players sign, and here's where you'll put the player that you're dropping. Try to get their signature or their initial there as well. Schedules for Tuesday men's. It looks like we have 2 divisions of 6. We are still looking for 2 additional teams for men's Tuesday. Those games will get started. That's the other thing I wanted to go over with you guys, is that we are delayed by 1 week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays. Sundays will still start as scheduled on the 12th, but we are pushing back Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We got all that rain that we got over the last 2 weeks or so, put our grounds crew behind quite a bit, and they are out there, always trying to make improvements and get the field back up to perfect condition for the season. So the rain did put them a little bit behind, and they have asked us to delay 1 week just so they have a few extra days to make sure everything is good to go for you guys. So that being said, we will start Tuesdays on September 14th now, instead of this coming Tuesday, September 7th. So we have 1 more week before we'll get starting. And then also Thursday men's at Bicentennial Park will start on Thursday, September 16th. And then Friday co-ed will start on Friday, September 17th. So again, the only Sundays will still start on September 12th. So not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday. It was just before Tuesday was going to start us off, and then Sunday was going to wrap up week 1. We've just simply switched it around, and now Sundays will kick us off on September 12th with Tuesday, Thursday, Friday leagues to follow that week. There is a banned bat list included in the packet. Please make sure you're going over that. It's pretty much the same list that's been put out I believe the last 2 or 3 seasons there have been no updates to the list. So just make sure that you guys aren't using any bats that are listed here. And then finally, the last page of your packet is the updated free agent list. We have received quite a few free agents over the month of July, August, and September. Some new ones at the bottom. There's lots of males. There are a few co-ed couple packages, and there are a couple females as well. Please utilize this list, especially if you think that you may have to forfeit due to not having enough players available, because you can always give a couple of these people a call, and I'm sure they'd be more than happy to come out and play for a week or two with your team if that's what you need. If you are a couple players short and you want somebody for the entire season, again, I know there's probably about 60 names on here or so, maybe more, and all these people all want to play softball. So if you do need a couple extra players, or if you think you might have to forfeit a week because you're missing 2 or 3 players, please try to go to the free agent list first and invite maybe a couple of these folks out to play with you. You don't have to have them on your team after that. You know, call them and just let them know, hey, we're 3 people short and we're just calling for this week. You know, put those expectations out there, and then they probably won't bug you too much later on if you don't want to keep them on. But a lot of times somebody come out to sub and they end up kind of getting along with everybody, and you may end up inviting them to, you know, just be part of the team. We just ask that you kind of take into consideration what part of the season it's in, how many games are left, how many folks do you have on the team, because, you know, we tell all the free agents you're not going to be able to play for free, but, you know, if you came in game 2 or game 3 and you only played 4 games, or, you know, just to keep that in mind, and to bring that up with the manager if they do call you, and just work out a fair fee to collect from them. Again, I'm not saying let these people come and play for free when everybody else had, you know, on your team had to pay. You know, but if you only have them out for a week to help you out, I wouldn't ask them to pay anything, because yeah, they're coming out and they're playing, but they're really kind of helping you out. But if they're going to stay for the remainder of the season, or you're going to have them on for 3 or 4 weeks, I don't think it's too much to ask. You know, they kick in $15, $20, or, you know, whatever it is, dependent on how late you are in the season and how many players are on the team. So I believe that's it. That's all I have for today. I know it's quite a bit of information, so if you do have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out and contact me. My information is at the bottom of the agenda sheet on page 1, but you can always reach me. My phone number is 623-222-2271. You can also reach me by email at ian.wallace@surpriseaz.gov. But I just want to remind everybody to have fun, be safe, and try not to take it so seriously out there. And if you do have any questions or concerns or anything like that during the season, you know, don't hesitate to give me or Jason a call or an email, and we'll be more than happy to do whatever we can to try to help you get it figured out. All right, thanks everybody, and have a great day. Have a great season.